Hello, everybody, and welcome into episode three, series three of The Growing of the Dim. I am your GM and storyteller, Anita. My pronouns are she, they, and with me, I've got an amazing cast of fantastic folks. And why don't we go through and everybody can say who they are and who they're playing before we sort of get into our recap for tonight. We'll start with Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris, or Omnis on the internet. I am playing Virgil, a black man who seems to have some control over fire in some shape, form, or fashion. Both of our pronouns are he, him.
Incredible. And next up, we've got Becca.
Hello, I am Becca. I'm currently playing around with any pronouns at the moment, and I'm playing Miss Genevieve Roy, who uses she, her pronouns and is the town's local widow, but also there's just a lot of weirdness around her, I guess.
And next up, we've got Brandy, or B.
Hey, I'm Brandy B. I use she, her pronouns, or she, they pronouns, because Miss Ivy
Been
uses
there.
she, her pronouns. Yeah, I use she, they pronouns. I'm playing Miss Ivy, a well-trained singer, just getting some air in the Wild West.
Amazing. And last but not least, we've got Max.
Hello, I am Max. I use he, they pronouns. I play Jasper Rivera, who is a bit of a cowboy and a bit of weirdo, who also uses he, they pronouns.
Heck yeah. And once again, I'm your game master, Anita, and I play everybody else in this world, varying colors, creeds, and pronouns. And we've got uh, a bit of a Weird West story going for this season of the Dim. For those of you who haven't quite joined us yet, and those of you who might be new, uh, last session, well, I guess we'll recap the first two sessions. So the first session, we introduced our characters in a series of vignettes, and introduced each of these strange folk to the town of Palomino, which is located in the Cimarron territory. For those of you who know history, that is in the panhandle of Oklahoma. It's a little bit of a lawless area. We are in the town of Palomino, which is kind of your standard fair Western town. It's got a saloon known as the Six Dice, run by the sheriff and the bar matron Gloria. Uh, and the crew were given a job. um, Virgil and Ivy were wrangled in along with Jasper and Genevieve to investigate some strange goings on in the mine. Perhaps some people had set up shop in there. Uh, the the sheriff wanted it taken care of. There was also strange lights in the hills, um, a nightmare uh, that haunts the area. And by that, I mean a dark horse. Unclear if it is actually mystical or not. But the group made their way to the mine. They found a dead body uh, of someone from the cast iron gang and a door that did not belong. A bit of the backstory: the Cast Iron Gang was a crew of ruffians that took over the town after the former sheriff passed away, and the current sheriff, Gloria, saw to running them out of town, became something of a local legend by only firing one shot. Uh, the the door, it seemed to have disappeared, but the body with the seven daggers in its back remained. The crew set about investigating the rest of the caverns. They found were beset upon by some weird looking muscleless dogs like creatures. Some very strange eldritch beasts had found their way from the cavern, accompanied by one very large one. Um, they managed to get rid of it, and upon investigating the caverns, found what seemed like some kind of summoning circle. Um, set on one of the walls, written in blood. Upon returning, they found the body was still there. The knives were gone. But they packed, after some discussion, they packed up the body of one member of the Cast Iron Gang. They took him back to town to be investigated by the local sheriff and the town doctor. If anybody can remind me of the name of the doc.
Doc Remington.
Doc Remington, that's right. And you all sort of started interrogating Gloria after going up to her office for a drink and a little bit of a debrief. You managed to convince her to be a little bit more forthcoming with some information, and we ended the session with her saying, "All right, all cards on the table then." Does that sound about right? Did I miss anything?
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We did also have a after credits scene where there was more howling from deep in the mines through a collapsed tunnel that was investigated. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. See, I can remember things. My brain's not soup all the time. So yeah, you are all now seated in Gloria's office. And she sort of looks it over you all very carefully and says, "All right, well, what do you want to know? All cards on the table. What do you want to know?"
What really happened would be a start.
What really happened with the Cast Iron Gang?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was my fault, really. They came into town after the last sheriff got sick, fell ill, passed away. The Miss Roy's parents, the McFaddens, and her husband had also passed away. They saw it as a moment of weakness within the town, and they decided to set up shop, take control of everything. They thought it would be a good opportunity to start strong arming everybody. Now, I just worked at the 6 days at the time. And I was an all right shot. But Miss Ivy, I think you know from our past dealings that I have a little bit of experience with stranger things, darker, more mysterious things. And she sort of eyes you, Virgil. And like sort of lays eyes on each of you in turn. There's more to this world and to this area than meets the eye.
It did feel like we were missing a few pieces of information as we headed into the mines.
And that's on me, and I'm sorry for that. I thought that maybe sparing you some of the more gory details would keep you safe, but seeing as we've got... who was it that you brought in from the Cast Iron Gang?
Cliff Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff. Wow, he was always a low-level grunt, kind of just sort of followed around. He's what you'd call a joiner. He'd always side with the biggest bully.
Is the biggest bully who's running the Cast Iron Gang?
That'd be Duke, right?
Sly Decker.
Dude.
Sly Decker. Sly Decker, yeah, was the leader. But Duke is probably who took over from him. Anyway, you've noticed things are not quite normal in this town. I think all of you might have realized that at this point. Shadows tend to hang a little bit longer than they should. There's
Seems that way.
songs of the wind, lights in the hills, that sort of thing. And some of us who are a little bit more adept can tap into those energies and strike bargains. And
Have you
so,
been honing your skills?
Well, since the last time we met, I kind of had to.
Admirable.
Yeah. Town was getting desperate. They wanted a way to get rid of the cast iron gang. And, well, I struck a deal.
I was
With what
afraid you were going to say that.
With what I'm not sure. And that's kind of where my problems lie. That's kind of where a lot of the problems in town lie nowadays. Spirits are uneasy. And
Did you fulfill your end of the deal?
they weren't actually specific as to what they wanted.
Ivy just
That's
looks
how they get
over
you.
at Virgil and just. They have like a knowing look, like we've heard this shit before kind of look. And then we both just kind of turn back.
There was people are desperate, they do desperate things. And, well, I don't quite know what price I paid. Yet, at least. But there was one shot, that much is true. And it did take out Decker right between the eyes. And then the strange thing is that the rest of the cast iron gang just stood very straight, very suddenly, dropped their sidearms, turned about, and walked out of town.
Do you think the payment was the rest of the gang?
That'd
Could
be
be.
too simple.
But I'm not sure. Why come back? Why do strange dealings in the mines? There's better places to go. But the land here is different. It's scarred somehow. Maybe they're tapping into the energies. Maybe they're all working at something. I'm not sure. And I sent you in the mines to... I wasn't sure if it was the cast iron gang to begin with, but now that you've brought Cliff Stanley back, that'll be that little mystery wrapped up. She takes a drink of the whiskey. Pours another glass.
Well,
Can you tell us exactly what this deal was?
I asked for a way to get rid of the cast iron gang. Whatever I treated with, obliged. Said, yes, ma'am. It will be done.
So you didn't get any indication of what
What kind-
exactly you'd be paying with. Just that it would be done.
The exact words were, "Thy will be done."
Like a prayer.
Like biblical scripture.
So many who hide using fake scripture to make themselves seem important.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Hallelujah.
Well,
Have there been other weird goings on since you did this little deal?
um. Well, the bullet that killed. The bullet that killed their leader went straight through him into the bank, and haven't been able to get it patched right since. I mean, that's a little strange. I don't know if the bullet's still in there or not. Tried digging it out, couldn't find it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was the strange bit. I swear my gun. Normally, the sidearm that I used, just the little pocket piece that I use if someone got a little too rowdy in the bar. Something was different about it. Normally, I keep it clean, I keep it loaded, but that morning all the bullets were just sitting out on the table.
That's
many?
Many as I needed, just 5.
Have you used the gun since?
Yeah. Well, not since, but I still have it on me. That's what you're looking for.
Did you reload it?
Um, I mean, yeah, I've put more bullets in it since, but there's. She sort of. It's not the piece that I carry now, it's the piece I used to carry, and she pulls open a drawer. She lays it on the table.
Makes sense.
The bullets I've taken out, because safety, of course. She takes out a little piece of fabric. It's like canvas. And she lays it on the table and rolls it out, and there's 4 bullets.
Slide him over towards Virgil.
I'd like to look at the gun, honestly.
Okay,
I'll take a
Uh,
look at the bullets if you're gonna look at the gun.
for sure.
And I'm watching Gloria.
I'd just straight up like to use a power roll for this.
Yeah, for sure. Give me that roll. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I'll just roll 1 die.
Okay.
For 3, and I'll take the any result to recognize my kind spirits and other elemental beings,
Mm.
even when they're inanimate.
Are you looking over the whole spread or just the gun specifically?
Specifically the gun. I'm fairly positive that I probably glance at the bullets real quick, but my attention is more on the gun.
No energy from the gun. It's just normal, regular. Or at least nothing that hits you as being like you.
Mhm.
Max, you also wanted to check it
Yeah,
out as well?
I don't really have a power for this, so I'm just looking if there's any kind of like small engraving or anything on the bullets that would make them appear out of the ordinary.
Sure, that'll be study.
I can do that. That's eight altogether.
Okay. So 8. Let me just look at my moves again. With an 8, you can bargain to get a fair result, but you would need to bargain up to a 10. You'd need to get rid of 2 of your caches.
I don't really think my caches help with this because I have
That's
like
true.
offense and presence, so I think I'm kind of I might just be out
I
of my
will
league.
say that there's no engraving really
Yeah.
on the bullets. They all seem pretty normal. And Virgil, as you sort of look at the bullets, because like it's all in sort of one area, and your power is able to sort of recognize that sort of like as like a vision sight. The bullets look like there's some residue of that like sort of magical aura.
Mm.
Like they were in proximity. And you sort of open the gun, you pull it open, you look sort of down the little revolver where the bullets are stored. The barrel, not the barrel. I don't know
chamber?
guns. The chamber. And you sort of look a little bit, and you do see that sort of faint glow of something that might have been like one of the bullets specifically, probably the one that fired the shot.
Right. Okay.
Can I look at it
For sure.
and just see if it looks ancient?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll just roll 1 die for my power.
Go for
Whoop,
it.
there's power there. And Ivy will just kind of glance at the bullets and just kind of see if she recognizes anything.
That same sort of residue.
Okay.
And if any of you were to do the same, the answer is yes. Not that it's like any one of you in particular, it's like all of you. Like the powers that each of you tap into are in play.
Well,
Does anybody else know about your deal, Gloria?
No, I've been a little too. Oh, I mean, no one knows about the deal, but Alistair saw them walk out of town. Caught a glimpse of them peeking through the window of the shop.
You mean nobody knows? Like you never spoke about this when you were a little too drunk? Nothing like that?
I kept it secret.
Does your deputy know?
Cindy doesn't know.
Jasper like
better.
looks over at you sharply, kind of like that's what they were trying to ask without asking it, and you just came right out with it.
Cindy doesn't know. Cindy's sweet, little clumsy, but
A little?
she's a bit of a fish out of water sometimes. And it's a little too heavy for someone with a sweetheart like hers.
Where were you when you were making your deal? Was there a proximity? Is there a location? Were you in your office?
It was late at night. It was about 3 in the morning. I was here. Yeah.
Is the bar like geographically, does it happen to be located at like a crossroads or anything akin to it?
Well, it's directly in the center of town. The
I
town
guess-
was sort of built around the Six Dice.
I guess that is kind of the ultimate crossroads, isn't it?
Where in reference to the Six Dice is the bank?
The bank is
Center.
So, everything that's built out sort of from the
Mm-hmm.
so the main road in town leads directly to the Six Dice.
Right.
And then it's sort of like a T intersection.
Mhm.
The bank itself is sort of kitty corner from the Six Dice.
Okay. Interesting.
I would draw it out for you, but it's a little
It's all right.
different.
Okay.
I'm like trying to draw sigils with a made up town in my head. So, you know how it is.
I'd like to go take a look at it,
Oh my god.
at least.
That sounds like a good idea.
Ivy's
But-
just gonna close her eyes and think internally. Is there anybody out there? Nothing's gonna happen, but she's just gonna absently.
You're just thinking internally, is anybody out there?
Mm-hmm.
What's up? And you sort of look for a second over Genevieve's shoulder. And you could see those eyes again.
Wait a second. Genevieve.
Yes.
Who is over your shoulder right now?
Is it my husband?
Yeah,
Um,
but she asked.
that would be Emmett, my late husband.
I'm assuming Emmett's not the one making deals.
Oh, hell no. That's creepy. I just like to hang around. Genevieve, you hear all of this.
Yeah.
Ivy, you hear none of this.
He said, hell no, that's creepy. If that answers your question, he was never really the sort to. He wasn't like that.
I mean, I figured someone who would answer with sup wouldn't be the one to make an ancient deal, but you know.
You'd be surprised.
You never know. I could be surprising.
Surprise us by telling who else is in this town. I couldn't hear that, so never mind.
Yeah.
You're good.
I mean, I have asked the shadows that surround me.
Mayday.
I've asked Mayday. I've asked the shadows that surround me if they've ever seen anything interesting, and only Emmett really answers me ever anymore.
The others are a little busy.
What are they busy with?
Well, everything is kind of topsy-turvy around here. I'm guessing it's probably because of what she did. Points to Gloria.
Gloria, my dead husband is implying that all the spirits in this town are topsy-turvy because of what you've done.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, great. I'm glad that we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
All the spirits are topsy-turvy? What does that mean?
They're restless, says Gloria. Like I said, shadows hang a little bit longer than they should in this town. You could hear the voices coming from Boot Hill sometimes. The sounds of old fights, misadventures.
Sounds like we got a couple places to check out then.
Yeah, and you were saying there was something going on inside the mine as well? Other than the fact that you found Cliff Stansley with a bunch of knives in his back that are gone now.
I have the doctor checking that out.
All right.
Yes. There was a door that I thought was simply a door, but it was not attached to the wall, and everyone else seemed to think that that was significant. And it wasn't until the door disappeared that I agreed.
There was also a knocking against the door, with no one doing it.
That could have been anybody, but
Not to mention the weird crystal thing, if we're laying it all out on the table.
Crystals?
There were some previously unsighted crystals that we did stumble upon that had some kind of reaction when I interfaced with them. We took one, right?
we did. I got it.
I'm not asking for it. I was just making
Does
sure we
Gloria
took
look
it.
surprised?
At the crystals?
Mm-hmm.
It's not something she's heard of. She looks a little interested and confused.
Well, since you bring it up, it's up to you if you want other people to see it. As far as I recall, you were quite concerned about it, Genevieve.
Well, there were those rumors that right before everyone started getting sick and before the mine shut down, that they had found something. Something that we don't quite know and I still haven't figured out. I don't necessarily want to bring something that's, a biological weapon into the town and get everyone sick.
I think Virgil is going to actually look over at Jasper, because Jasper's the only one that's been like, yo, are we really doing this right now? Like, are we really saying everything? And see if they kind of give like a subtle nod or something like that. Like, we might as well at this point pull out the pistol.
There's definitely like a fuck it expression. I think he'll try to kind of soften the blow though, like of course this is only speculation. There's no proof per se that this is what made anybody sick, but it does happen to be quite strange. And there was a whole lot of strange going on up there.
Can I see the crystal?
Can she see the crystal?
I don't mind. And Virgil pulls it out of his pocket.
Takes it, sort of looks at it, holds it up to the light.
Does it glow when she touches it?
No.
Maybe try to handle that with that cloth you got for your gun.
Sort of grabs it, puts it at the cloth.
Just in case it is correlated.
I'm gonna reach out and touch it while she's looking at it.
Reach
It
out
glows.
and touch.
Yeah.
And it's sort of that's a mite different than I'm used to.
Mm.
Is it salty? And I'm gonna and taste.
You
That's not it.
all right?
Wouldn't be me if I didn't do that.
You're gonna lick the stone.
Genevieve.
Yeah, I'm gonna use wet my finger, touch it, and then lick the residue off my finger.
Doesn't
It's
taste
not gonna
salty.
hurt me. Doesn't?
It's not
Does
gonna
taste
hurt you. We're presuming that this may not be the thing that got a bunch of people in the town sick. Emmett.
So that is actually
it's-
okay. So sidebar for a second. That is actually accurate geology. Is that you lick rocks?
Yeah,
That is
but
a thing.
I know.
If it
but
sticks to your
also-
tongue, it's a bone. Anyways, continue.
I just feel like that there are steps that you can take before.
Oh yeah, there
licking the
definitely
rock.
are.
when,
Yeah,
when it's
but-
like,
I took
hey,
a geology class.
hey, all these people like found something in the mine and it started to get sick. Maybe don't lick the mysterious thing that we found in the mine that we don't know what it is when it could have been the thing that killed everyone.
I wanted to see if it's something that was the salt originally and then was transformed into something else. But it's not salty, and so it seems to be a totally different substance.
Interesting.
It's not salt.
Miss Genevieve, do you feel any weaker when you touch that and it lights up?
Any weaker? I'll just like grab it and kind of like hold on to it.
Like, do you feel tired or anything like that?
So
You don't feel tired or anything like that.
I wanna kind of like tilt her head with my hand, about as gently as I can touch another person, and just like look like if like her pupils are dilated or anything has changed subconsciously in the face.
Becca, I will
If
leave it up
anything
to
has
you
changed
for what your
subconsciously in
bodily.
the face.
I'll leave it up to you what your bodily
Just your
reactions
heart rate.
are.
I mean, there's a heart rate increase, and the cheeks flush slightly. Aside from that, I don't know whatever the rock's doing.
Jasper might be dumb, but he's not stupid. So, yeah, if there's no, I think he genuinely was looking for, like, if this thing, like, takes your, like, soul or, like, life energy, like, in any way, or even does, like, some kind of swapsies or transfer, but if it doesn't appear to be doing that, he will let you go.
Doesn't seem to be doing anything like that to you. You don't feel like reinvigorated or anything, or vice versa. It glows in your hand,
Yeah,
like it's reacting to you.
What if there's something in there? Like, what if it's
like a geode that we
like
crack open.
like you ever go to the beaches down east? They say that the sand lights up sometimes.
Hey, Virgil,
yes.
you were still sort of looking at the bullets and the gun as this takes place.
Yes.
You see that energy that you noticed coming from sort of residue?
Mhm.
That whole energy that you sensed is coming from that stone.
I am going to gently take the stone and simply can I make a study roll on
Go for
like
it.
really comparing these?
Absolutely.
Oh, you've got good study. Excellent.
Yeah.
Studious individual.
Unfortunately enough, doubles don't do anything. So that's a 12.
Ooh, that's still good though. That's still very good. So we'll have a look at our moves. You can ask. So you can ask one question from the list below, carry one forward to your answer, or you can bargain for a strong result, or you can assist a friend, give them +1 forward on the next turn for an appropriate roll. So, which would you like to know?
So
These are just samples, but you can just ask whatever you want, really. I'll let you know.
I don't have anything to bargain for a strong result. I think what I will do. So I just want to confirm that these residues are similar.
The residue from the bullets and from the inside of the chamber of the gun
Mhm.
is exactly the same as the energy that is coming from that stone.
Okay. Secondly,
That's the confirmation that I'll give you, so you still have a question.
secondly, I will spend like 2 questions to ask this if I can. Can I keep this like residue, like this sense in my head? Like if I go to where the bullet struck without the stone or the bullets, will I be able to say, yes, this matches? I want to keep that knowledge in my head.
You can keep that knowledge in your head.
Okay. And-
You'll know it when you see it.
Okay, fantastic.
You've got a sense of it now.
Yes, I'm hoping that will help me take +1 forward to identifying any more issues with that
Good call.
in lieu of asking more questions.
Okay. I'm just looking at something very quickly in my.
Does Virgil relay this to us?
Okay. Virgil, do you relay that to the rest of the group?
Yes. What I'm going to say is that as I study this stone, as I study everything that's happened, and what appears to be the bargain maker, going to simply say, well, whatever it is that you made a deal with for those bullets is the same thing that made these.
Stone?
Gloria, did you have any idea what that thing looked like that you spoke to, by the way?
Just a voice in the dark.
No glow, no nothing.
Did you recognize it at all?
No, never seen it before or since.
But it made those bullets, you said, Virgil.
It touched them at the very least.
Can I touch a bullet?
Yeah?
Does it do anything?
Glows very faintly. Not the casing, the tip of the bullet.
Hmm.
The actual projectile portion.
Do I see that?
And if you like, you could take like a little dagger and knife out and if you scrape it,
Mhm.
it's like there's a little bit of plating on it, and underneath it's stone.
Stone.
It's crystal, like the crystal that you hold in your hands.
It's
just like
crystal.
it's like a thin little bit of film that's on top of it. Apologies for the
No,
I misspoke.
it's good.
Mhm. Well, interesting.
Yeah, you would all see this. It glows brighter when you scrape the paint off.
Well then, if a deal was made, and now everything is wrong, it looks like we need to find out where the deal went.
Mm-hmm.
What the cost was?
And how to get this town out from under the boot of it.
It seems like I traded one set of chains for another. One oppressor for another.
I hate to say this, probably more than most people, but if you made a deal with the devil, then we probably ought to swing by the church.
That's often a good idea anyway when I come to town.
Go talk to Father Mouton.
See if they do an exorcist or anything like that. Is that a real thing that happens around here?
I couldn't tell you. He's from Nolans, though. There's all sorts of spooky shit happens around there.
They tried on me when I was growing up, so there ought to be something.
Glad it didn't work.
Oh, hell no, it didn't. That's why I don't go to church anymore.
Well, allow me a moment. Just to change my sleeves. And Virgil's going to head up to his room.
Sounds good. Alright, is there anything else you want to do? Any questions you want to ask Gloria before you set about your business? You've got a couple clues you got to deal with.
Can I ask you a question? Like a town question?
Sure.
I know that there's a general store. Is there anyone who is kind of on like a collector's vibe? Like a person who keeps bits and bobs,
Like a
weirdo?
curiosity?
Yeah, like a curio. Like that one dog in the Webkins. That guy.
deep Webkins lore.
Uh,
Wow.
Welcome to
my
the curio
lord.
shop. I hope you find what you're looking for. That's where I get the accent from, clearly.
Okay, so there is not really a curio shop in town. But if you ask Gloria, she might be able to hook you up with someone.
Alright, so I'll ask her. Do you know anyone around here who collects, and he kind of runs down the list of, stuff that is sometimes strange in literature and folklore. Tomes, amulets, rings, any kind of, weird cloaks, family heirlooms that aren't theirs.
I can give you the answer to that question. You're not gonna like it though.
Oh,
It's Alistair. If you want something like that, something strange, you can talk to him.
what's this Alistair like? What's
Oh,
The meat man?
the meat man.
He runs the butcher. He's also a little bit of a collector.
the meat man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he runs the butcher shop.
He's a little bit of a strange duck. And he likes to collect weird things sometimes.
He's not my favorite guy in town, that's for shit sure.
I'd have no problem talking
I
with him
mean,
if that's easier
he's
for you.
he's harmless enough. He's just
He is harmless to my understanding as well. He does upcharge me sometimes. I don't think he likes me very much, but we can go around.
He seems to like me plenty enough. He actually speaks to me, so.
Maybe you and I should go. Well,
I
We
should
can
check
Jasper
on
can
this
keep watch.
autopsy. Maybe I can get Virgil to come with me on that.
Ooh, that's a very good idea. I'd be very interesting to see if Virgil can see anything else.
I'll come along with you for that as well. I'd like to confirm that it's Cliff Stansley.
Yeah, I don't want to
And
leave
there's a
Clive
bit of a
around
reward
there
in it
too
for
long.
you too. So,
All right.
well, I mean, members of the Cast Iron Gang have a bounty on their head around town.
I think fairly enough that should be split between the four of us, if that's the case.
It's not that much, about $10.
That's like a lot of money, right?
It's $10. It's a reasonable sum. Split between the four
Just
of you,
as I would
it's-
say now, $10 is $10.
And yeah, hell yeah.
So yeah, it's I think it's like $10 a piece for any
Oh.
member of the Cast Iron Gang.
We gotta find the rest
So
of
it's
them.
dead or alive then.
Yeah.
There's probably more of them in that cave.
Oh, there definitely are. We saw many tracks.
I mean, there's that whole collapsed tunnel situation.
Yeah,
you
you're
had
saying
some
that.
workers you said you could help with us?
I can certainly get some people down there as long as we keep all the weirdness going on to a hush hush level. So they already don't want to work in there. But
We can pay them extra to make sure they can take care of it. I have no problem helping with that. This town seems like it needs the help.
All right. Well, I'll head with some of y'all to Doc Remington's.
They're at the stable. We brought the body to my stable, and
That's true.
Clive went to get Doc Remington to examine it.
Perfect. All right. I'll she sort of grabs a coat, puts it on.
Ivy follows her over to the coat and stop. As she puts her coat on, Ivy will help her for a second, and then she will kind of put her hands on Gloria's arms, kind of at a shoulder length, in a little bit of a distance, and say, "I'm very proud of you for taking care of this town and for doing what you thought was right when you really didn't have to step up."
Well, don't be too proud of me. It seems I got the town in a lot more trouble than it's worth.
You were doing the best you could with what you knew. But you ever send me out like that again without information, it will be the last breath you take. I promise you.
I believe you.
And then Ivy will give her a hug. I'm still real proud of you, though.
She sort of stiffens a little bit, but she nods and gives him, and then takes a step out the door. It's Virgil and Jasper that are going to the stable.
I did not actually ask you if it is okay if Virgil comes with us. So Virgil may attend. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, no, I think Virgil spends just a couple minutes, as I said, changing his shirt and making sure that he's in good condition, and then coming back out. So that
The portion of your arm that's a little bit charred is it's sealing up. It's just slowly.
Mm.
It's not beyond repair at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I probably want to spend a little bit of time, applying an ointment or two, if it doesn't look like it's that bad.
Do I
put-
We have
have
all sorts of things.
like 10 minutes of spare time if this
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
the case?
Absolutely,
Alright.
you do.
I'm gonna go get some cookies from Kitty O'Shea
Okay.
for everybody. Yeah.
And I think actually y'all had asked, Cynthia to get you some lunch, and I think Cynthia comes up with like a bundle of things. I brought lunch for y'all. I brought some dinner.
Oh, very kind. It smells delicious.
Sort of stumbles up the stairs a little bit as
all right,
as you're about
all
to
right.
leave, Jasper. Is there anything else I can get for y'all?
I think we're quite all right. You've done more than enough, Cynthia.
All right. I'm gonna head back behind the bar.
I'd love a whiskey, Cynthia, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll get you some. She
And
sort of-
actually, I don't know if this is how this works because I've never seen Miss Ivy perform before. But if we need to book a table, please put my name down for first
Oh.
performance.
yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure that you got the best seat in the house.
Can
Oh,
I join
it's
you
very
for that
sweet,
table?
Jasper.
I think everybody is welcome.
Lovely.
And Jasper, did you say you wanted to go get some cookies from Kitty?
Yeah, it's just it's a morale thing.
Hell yeah.
That was a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can we count this these sandwiches and these cookies as maybe an endurance cache,
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
It's like when the
Well-
person that you're dating in a JRPG gives you food and then you can use it as HP in the dungeon.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it.
Hell yeah.
Well, while I guess everyone's doing some like quick errands, I don't know how spending caches works, and I'm too afraid to find out. But can I use some of my personnel caches to get people to actually go clear that shit? So I have like 3 personnel caches.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's smart.
absolutely. Yeah,
Cool.
you can send some people down to the mine to get that cleared out.
Incredible. Yeah.
It'll just take a little bit. They'll
Yeah. No, of course.
as they're a little begrudging. They're like, well, sorry, we'll get a head start on it first thing tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Roy.
Y'all are
Mrs.
doing
Roy.
me thank you. An incredible service.
Yeah, yes, you are. Twice the price. Thank you very much.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
Right,
a
that-
group of them will set off into the mine tomorrow morning to get that area cleared out for you.
All
To
right.
get that portion open.
Okay. Cool.
When
That's
you get
why-
back, before we all
People.
take off, Ivy asks you, so how much is it going to cost you, Mrs. Roy?
Oh,
Ivy pulls out a $20 bill and hands it to you and says, make sure they're well paid because it is very dangerous.
That's a lot of money.
There's absolutely no
She
need
folds your
for
hand over it and says, it is done. Do not look a gift this hard.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Very quickly turn around. What were we doing? Something important, right?
Oh, we were
So-
eating some dinner.
Oh, yeah, important.
got a little bit of dinner in you, and you take a couple seconds to just take a breath after absorbing all of this information, and the group of you begin to set your plans in motion. Some of you are going to go talk to Alistair. A few of you are going to go talk with the doctor. But as for who does what, we're going to find out all that after our break. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, y'all, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye.
Yay!
I forgot I need to do that. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
we are back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second half of tonight's episode of The Growing of the Dim. All cards on the table. This is Watson. He's our new baby.
Hello, look at this. Oh my god.
He's critically cute.
He is critically cute. But our team has decided to do some investigation around town. Ebony. Go. Be gone with you. Has decided to do some investigation around this party is splitting. Half of them are going to see the meat man, and half are going to talk with the priest, or was there something else you were doing?
I think
I think
the
we
other
were-
half was gonna go to the autopsy.
Yeah, I
to
think
the
we were gonna
autopsy.
go back
That's
to the
right.
stable for the autopsy.
That's right. Okay, so who wants to go? What do you want to do first? The autopsy or the
Yeah.
Alistair?
The autopsy might have more prudent information for us, and then whatever wildness Alistair gives us could also be used. But I think like
Yeah, I mean, Alistair
There's
was also the person
definitely
that
going to
saw.
be information in an autopsy. Alistair's also a witness.
Yeah,
Okay.
Could go either way, I guess.
yeah,
We're gonna sweet talk Alistair.
Sounds good. So, the autopsy, you all sort of, with Gloria, it was, who was going to the autopsy? Was it Virgil and Jasper?
yeah, I believe so.
Okay. The three of you, back to the stables where Jasper works, and you see Doc Remington, older gentleman, salt and pepper, kind of a scruffy beard, a little bit of a square jaw, and a nose that's been broken from too many fights, probably. Like, he said it himself a couple times. He looks at y'all. He's got a pair of glasses on. It says, "Oh, hi, howdy. The sheriff. Good to see you. Jasper, right? And you are
Virgil.
Virgil. Okay. Well, you got a corpse.
That's why
Sorry,
we called you.
Sorry, just thought I'd lighten the mood. I can't confirm that. Sort of pulls back the cover. Can't confirm that this unfortunate individual is one Cliff Stansley. So sheriff, and the sheriff sort of looks and says, "Yep, that's him, all right." He looks like he's got the bad business end of he's been stabbed up real good. Looks like 7 stab wounds in the back,
Yeah,
and
that's how we found him.
that's not really what killed him, though.
So what was it?
Oh,
Sort of flips him over again and opens up the buttons of the shirt. And he opens up the trigger warning. I'm not going to get too excessively violent. His heart's missing. Opens up the front of the shirt to reveal a hole in the chest.
Does it look like precision work or animalistic?
Pretty precise. Whoever did it did a pretty good job. Had a pretty steady hand at it, too.
Deal.
But it's more than that. It sort of looks at it. It looks like they just pulled it out. It's weird. I'm trying not to get too gory into details, while respecting lines and veils. His heart's missing. That's what killed him. The stab wounds are
I
happened after the fact.
I presume that would do it. Yeah, I presume that would do it.
Okay. Well, I
Do
don't
you
know why we
know?
didn't think to check that.
And his shirt wasn't like bloody, right from the front. Okay. Um, Doc, do you know of anyone else in town
He
who
also wore
has?
like a sort of a brown vest over top. So he had a
Okay.
brown vest and a white shirt, and wasn't didn't seep through the vest.
Do you know
Do I
of
know any?
anyone else around that has training akin to yours? A
Can't say
butcher,
as I do.
maybe.
I mean, Alistair's good with the knife, but he's more interested in bisecting rather than dissecting. Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes plenty sense. I'm thinking about the acquisition of tools. I don't think Alistair did this.
All right. Can I also take a moment to look at the front of this guy to see, like, if there's no blood, there had to have been something.
You see the white shirt underneath is stained, but it didn't pass. It hasn't passed through the vest that's on the other side. You open it up, you can see that there is blood on the other side. It hasn't seeped through it yet. I think it's a leather vest, so it kind of held it in.
Interesting. So it's missing.
Does it fit him? Like, does the
The
vest
vest?
fit him properly?
Yeah,
Okay. So
the shirt and the vest fit him properly. It feels like someone got him dressed after the fact.
Okay, so it's his
and then
clothes, but he might not
did the
put them
puncture
on.
in.
Got it. Okay.
What is his expression?
Alistair?
No,
Uh,
the corpse.
Sorry. The corpse. Peaceful.
the muscles in his face can hold no tension after a certain point, so it's like almost moot.
And he was still like a little bit warm when you found him, but he's like Ricker was just setting in. But he's like his face is peaceful.
Interesting. So, no matter what, we know that he wanted this to happen.
Do you?
I mean,
Do you? And I think Jasper kind of like leans his head down to talk slightly more hushed to Virgil, not like actively hiding, like not moving, but like definitely more hushed. You think this is like a sacrifice?
It's gotta be. Gotta be. Virgil is just going to covertly point out the expression, like, and then just at turning away from the doctor, especially if they're looking at me trying to gauge what my reaction to this is, just tell Jasper, like, imagine, if you would, that someone asked you to give them your heart. Would you be happy about it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. The only way you could leave with an expression like that on your face is if you were willing. Or you were asleep. But being asleep, I think something like that would wake you up.
Unless it was
oh, I mean, if someone gets stabbed in the heart, they'll stop pretty much instantly. Shock kind of takes over at a certain point.
Doesn't your brain keep going for a bit?
For a little bit. But if it's a fast enough, quick enough jolt, usually it knocks them out. At least in my professional medical experience. Well, I couldn't really say. I never actually stabbed somebody in the heart, but I've heard tell of it being quick when they do.
Fair. All right then, Doc. I got one more question for you.
Go ahead.
Is there anything else missing?
Well, I haven't really had the chance to do a full workup, if that's what you mean. I mean, I'm more. I can, I can let you know he's dead. I can let you know the big things that killed him, but uh, I can't really. I can't really. I can't
Don't
really
hurt yourself
look at
here. I
things.
think we got
I
it.
mean, I can open them up if you want, but like usually with something like this, it's like confirm the identity, make sure that the bounty is paid, and to get and then put them in a pine box up on Boot Hill.
That's not quite what I meant.
I mean, do you want me to do like a full like open them up and see if there's anything missing? It's just the heart, from what I can see.
Doc, this man's name is Clive, right?
Cliff Stansley. Clive's
Cliff.
uh, Clive.
Clive's, I think,
Clive sort of
on
looks
his
around the
break.
corner. I'm right here.
Hi, Clive.
Clive
Cliff.
Merchant is my name.
Mr. Merchant is your name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Could you do me a favor, Mr. Merchant?
Sure.
Could you make sure our horses are okay?
Jasper
yeah.
looks alarmed instantly.
Oh, they were just tied up outside of the Six Dice, right?
Yeah. Well, one
Yeah,
of them had to.
I grabbed them. They're back in their stable.
Yeah, just one of them had to bring this gentleman back with us. So I
Yeah,
just want to
well,
make sure.
I mean, I saw Jasper come in with this.
No, that's my horse. She's fine. Rain is
Yeah,
all right.
and I figured that the rest of you would be coming back with your horses. I saw them tied up in front of the Six Dice. They're all in their stables. They're fine.
Okay. All
I'll take
right.
care of
Well,
them. He's
nothing
on it.
for it then. This gentleman, Cliff, you said his name. What I mean by anything missing was, did he have any kind of rings, jewelry, any kind of markings on his body that you knew of when he lived here? I'm new. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Cliff and his buddies weren't really in town long enough, I think, to get anybody to know that much about him. They kind of rolled in as soon as they saw a moment of weakness in the rest of the town. And this is Gloria talking. They kind of rolled into town as soon as they saw a moment of weakness and set up shop. They weren't really residents of the town. They came from outside.
All right. Just figured I'd ask.
If anybody would know if they wore any jewelry or anything like that, I think it'd be someone who runs a shop, a place that you gotta go in and out of and exchange cash with your hands.
That'd probably be the general store.
Or Cynthia. I don't know if they drank much. I wasn't around either.
Cynthia used to work as a bookkeeper at the. She was kind of a secretary sort of capacity at the
Right.
office
Okay.
of the cops. What's the name of it? My brain is mush right now.
A constabulary?
Yeah,
Okay. Are we
Yeah,
at
the
that? Or
sheriff's office.
is that the right time period?
sheriff's office. Yeah, she was sort of like a bookkeeper at the sheriff's office at the time.
All right. Well, we know what we need to know. I appreciate you looking over the body.
Hey, Watson. I know.
Jasper, is there anything else you want to know?
There are plenty of things I want to know, but I don't think anybody here's got the answers right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I got nothing right now. I'm not quite sure.
Oh. Actually. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
No, by all means.
Uh, I don't know if it becomes obvious to passersby if I'm using my powers of sight.
You tell me.
We
So-
could just dismiss the doctor. I think Gloria already's kind of got a handle that there's weird stuff going on, and I'm not gonna rat like Jasper's not gonna rat you out. So
Yeah, I'm worried about. I don't know why Clive showed up.
Clive
works
has
here.
been helping. Yeah, Clive works
Yeah.
here. I can send him.
And he's kind of being a busybody a little bit. He's like sort of
Yeah.
peeking around and
Yeah.
trying to get the
Hey,
gossip.
Clive,
Yeah.
do you mind running down to the general and getting me another pack of cigarettes?
All right, I can get you some tobacco for Kitty.
I promise it will be well worth the trip, and Jasper will give him extra cash for it.
All right. It's like, fine. He goes and he runs down the street. You know, hot, fast, and in a hurry.
It's the speed.
You got a
walk.
little bit of time.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to. I think there is a small note, like there is a small glow in his eyes when he looks. So I think I'm going to, like, if I can get a moment alone with the body, I'm going to look at it. And just use the any result roll to see if there's any of that residue or if this is all just something different.
There is a slight residue around his neck, like there was something hanging there. It's not anymore. Like he had a pendant on or something. It's like a very faint outline, almost like the aura of something that was there. You wouldn't have noticed it otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have. We're done here. And I'm gonna look over at Jasper and say, whenever we're ready, we can head over to the general store. There's some questions I should ask there too.
I think we ought to just linger a few minutes so Clive doesn't get too upset. I'm gonna check back in on the horses if you want to join me and chat for a minute.
Fair. Fair, we should let him know. Something, at least.
Yeah, I do just want to, like, chat a little bit more, before they go, and also actually, like, just check in on the horses and make sure everyone is in their proper, place. So do you think it's possible if the sheriff made, some kind of deal with something dark and asked for them to be kind of taken away, that this thing is, you know, literally, you get what I'm trying to say?
That this thing's bargain is starting to take effect.
That it literally took his heart. That's your soul or whatever to most people.
It's possible. Maybe the thing that made the bargain in the first place is making bargains with them.
Well, it apparently didn't go very well. And there has to be some reason, and I guess this is the part that's throwing me the most, that they tried to hide it, whoever did this, with all the knives in his back. Ceremonially so, because one would have did it, but 7, one for each of them, I don't know, man, it's spooky.
Well, from what I recall, these ruffians, their number was always 7, or supposed to be, right?
It's always been their number, to my understanding.
Well, here's the issue with that. We found 7 stab wounds from 7 knives, and all 7 of those knives is gone. This guy was an 8.
Hmm. Like he didn't belong, you think?
Either that, or he was trying to be one of the seven and didn't make the cut.
Uh, to my understanding, back when I did go to church and all that, 7 is kind of like the number of completeness. It's why the week is 7 days and all that. So it would make sense that if there was some kind of more spiritual or magical kind of thing, that it would cap out at 7. 8 would be too many, and 6 wouldn't be enough.
Seven is just right.
Well, maybe Genevieve and Ivy have something of insight. Alistair's a real loose cannon.
Perhaps. But I can tell you that 7 is indeed just right. It always has been and always will be.
And I think on that note, we'll shift our camera over to Genevieve and Ivy as they approach the butcher shop.
Just in case, I feel like I need to. Please don't be alarmed. And you see Ivy her eyes I don't know. She kind of closes her eyes for a second, and you can kind of just barely perceptibly see kind of that wave that kind of goes down her body the one time, Genevieve. And she's rolling plenty, and she is going to kind of, may I? She reaches out to your shoulder. And she just like touches you, and she doesn't need to touch you, but ceremonially she just kind of touches you, and she says, "All right, now I have a connection with you, and if we become in danger, that should afford you a bit of protection."
Thank you very kindly.
How do you want to go about this?
I think it should be easy enough to just approach Alistair for a normal conversation.
Perfect. Well, I'm new in town, so I'll let you do the talking until you need me.
All right. I can certainly try my damnedest.
Open the door to the butcher shop. There's a small jingling of a bell that's above it, and it's like the first thing that hits you is the smell of like spices, like freshly made pepperoni and jerky, like cured meats. That's the first thing that hits you. There's also that faint sort of smell of raw meat as well in the background. It's very clean in here, very sort of immaculately laid out. There are hams that are sort of hanging from strings that are curing. For a man that the other day, when asked what kind of meat he had, just said meat, he's got it very nicely laid out.
Is that normal?
Yep.
Okay.
Genevieve, you'd know that this is absolutely normal for him. He's very particular.
Alistair?
As the door rings, there's a little sort of weird head that's like got this sort of like curly mane of graying hair that kind of goes all over the place. Elderly black gentleman, like a little on the shorter side. He pokes his head out around the corner.
Hello, darling. We were hoping if we could ask you some things. We're just trying to get some hot gossip, honestly.
Ginny, it's nice to see you. Do you want like the usual order, or
Oh
is there
yeah,
something else I can help you with?
We can get that original order going. I just also
All right. He sort of starts getting to work and like chopping, slicing.
we've just been doing some, I don't know, light gossiping about Gloria. And I was wondering if you remember anything from that, like one night.
Gloria, the sheriff.
Yes, Gloria's still the sheriff. Yes.
Oh, she's still the sheriff. Oh, that's good to know.
Mhm, yeah.
Sometimes things can shift a little bit to and fro a little differently.
But you remember anything from that one night with the shot and the cast iron gang?
Oh yeah, dampest thing.
Would you care to enlighten us? I do love a
Sheriff,
story.
I mean, Sheriff fired a shot.
Yeah.
Hit Clive Decker right in the head,
It was a
and rest of
mhm.
the cast iron gang just sort of turned tail and ran.
It was
Ne-
really just one shot. Pardon my stepping in.
Oh, who's your lovely acquaintance here?
This is Miss Ivy. Ivy,
Good
this is
evening.
Ivy. Okay,
this,
very
this
nice to
is
meet you. Ivy.
Alistair, Meat Man.
Nice to meet you, Sir
Uh,
Alistair.
not Meat Man's not my name. That's what they call me in town because I give the people the meat.
I said your name,
It's Alistair Owens.
Alistair.
Nice to meet you, Alistair Owens. You may call me Miss Ivy, but it's Ivy Bradley. Bradford.
Oh, Ivy Bradford.
Bradford.
Red, like green, like grass, like and forward like stream. Gotcha.
Ah,
Bradford.
That's a good way to remember.
I have a bit about etymology,
Hmm.
meanings behind names. Ivy's the plant that grows up buildings sometimes. Nicer places.
But yeah, it was just that one shot, and then they all ran out of town.
Um, yeah,
They were just all.
That's a little hard
they
to
all
believe.
kind of just dropped their irons and they up and they left. Felt
They
like
dropped their irons in this economy.
I mean, it's strange, I guess. Felt weird.
Hmm.
A bit of a just the way that bullet moved. Felt like everything was going slow, real slow.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it seem like it was slow as the bullet kept moving, or did it?
It felt
Did
like
things-
time was still set.
Can I just use my power to see if he's old? No doubles. We good.
Um, he looks the age that he is.
Okay.
He's just not necessarily all there. He's got there's it's not that he's old, it's that you can tell from his eyes that he's seen things. Well, and he sort of starts wrapping up this order with butcher paper and some twine and ties it sets it on the counter. Is that going to be everything, Miss Genevieve?
I'll like slide my payment over and just go. There was one other, I guess, matter I was going to ask. I have heard a bit of a tale that you like to collect oddities of a variety, and
His
this is gonna-
eyes light up.
I do love an oddity.
Do you want to see my trinkets?
I would absolutely be charmed to. I would
Right,
just love to
Genevieve,
see
this
what
is
you have.
perfect. This is
I
just
would-
perfect.
He
I was
sort of
gonna ask if you had anything in particular to kind of reach out to the dead. It's gonna sound, a bit silly, but
no, I mean I got all sorts of
I
things
would love
back
to
here.
see everything
And he
you
sort
have.
of he's like come around behind the counter. I'll show you. And he sort of
Can Miss Ivy
grabs-
come?
Oh yeah, both of you can come. Here,
Ooh.
turn the sign on the door.
Thank you so much.
All right. He sort of like hobbles around the counter a little bit. He's got like a little bit of a limp. He hobbles around the counter, and he locks the door too behind you after you turn the sign. He sort of this way. He takes you up a set of stairs. He lives clearly above the butcher shop. He takes you up the stairs into this sort of loft style thing. You can see a bed. It's how like neat and tidy the butcher shop is. Upstairs is a mess. It is a disaster up there. There are trinkets. There are so many trinkets. There is little like whirring gears and golden clockwork in like glass contraptions. There's who's its and what's its galore. Thingamabobs, he's got 20.
Mhm.
Oh
Um,
my.
it is a regular Little Mermaid situation in here.
It's no big
a
deal.
lot of it could be junk.
Some may call them
but
junk. Yeah, I call them treasures.
yeah, but there is a lot
want
of
more.
stuff. Yeah, who cares? No big deal.
Oh
And
my.
there, and he's like, oh, I mean, I've got this. He pulls like a sort of what looks it's kind of like a clear like a cloudy liquid, and like there's clearly like something inside it that like sort of floats inside. It might be like a uh uh pickled something, like pickled embryo of some sort.
Mm.
Just like turns it sort of upside down, and you can see that it's actually got two heads, one on either side.
Hmm.
I mean, I
Oh.
got this.
That is really cool.
And I mean, it, like pulls another jar. He's like, "This is just pickles." Puts it up.
It's very curious that you keep them right next to each other.
Ah,
Are-
you don't
are
know
you
how many
not-
times I've almost reached for the wrong one.
That was going to be the next question. All right.
Is there? Well, I mean, and I mean, I've got.
I
I've
have a
got,
particular interest in like geology. Do you have anything that's like interesting
precious,
stones or
precious
anything like that?
stones?
Sometimes they can be great for channeling, you
Stones?
know.
Oh, I mean, he grabs a box off of a shelf and opens it up. I mean, some of these were actually mineral samples from the original mine survey that the McFadden's did for the mine.
The original, oh my.
Yep. I mean,
Genevieve, you recognize you recognize the stones that are in the box. They might have once belonged to you. Your husband might have thrown them out.
I'm just like dumbfounded staring at this box, just going. And yeah, that what a price thing to certainly
I
have.
mean, he grabs one of them out, licks it. This one's just salt.
Any of the other ones tasty in any variety?
I mean, that one's I think is bone 'cause it sticks to my tongue.
Were there any kind of interesting stones in there, or was it just kind of the basic geological survey?
Oh, I mean, there's some apatite. There's some morganite. There's some jasper, some red jasper.
This is a beautiful
There's
little
the
collection.
apatite that he pulls out is actually like a blue-green in color, kind of similar to the stone that you have right now, but a little different.
A little different. May I perchance see that one?
Yeah. Soda hands it to you.
Oh, shit. Okay, I do take
Tosses
it.
it.
Does it do anything?
No, but if you hold it up next to the stone, do you have the stone on you, or is it?
I would not bring it out in front of Alistair.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
It looks very similar, like color, size, shape, but the energy of it is different.
Okay. Does
many?
it?
Does it taste the same?
Yeah. Tastes like a rock.
Could I?
He holds the, it sees that you lick it, holds the salt up to you. You want to look at the salt lick?
Okay. Not to be rude.
Salty.
That's a really nice flavor.
It's got some natural minerals in it, so it's a little bit different from a lot of the salt that.
That'd probably be
is
nice
more
on a nice
refined.
slab of pork.
That's what I said. That's one of the reasons
We are-
I get things are like I'm so good at like the curing of the meats and everything is I get the salt right from the mine.
Well, it's a really good salt mine.
It's a
when
good
it
business
is-
relationship.
when it is in operation, it is a really good mine that nothing bad ever happens in.
Are you gonna get that going again? Like, I got probably about 5 bags of salt left, and I'm starting
We're
to run a little
working
bit
on it
low.
actually right now. I just sent a group of people. Well, they're going to go tomorrow morning to clear out a section of cavern that fell, and then everything should be back in order.
Oh,
Um,
you are a saint, Genevieve.
I try my damnedest. Back to your collection, I suppose. What would you say is the weirdest thing that you've gotten here in town?
Here in town?
Yeah. Have you found any strange little trinkets, odds and ends here? Some that stand out more than others? Or was it just my husband's trash?
Oh, I mean,
He's-
this is good stuff.
No,
Closes the box,
it is great. Did he take the rock back from me?
grabs the rock, puts it in the box, closes it,
damn it.
and sort of
But I,
puts it back on a shelf.
Mr. Owens, I know that, but that pretty green rock is something I've never seen. Like, could I purchase that from you by any chance? I know they're very precious to you. I have no need of meat right now, but that rock is very pretty.
What you got for it?
Well, I could trade real money, or I could give you a song. Whatever kind of strikes your fancy, sir. I will be performing this evening at the Six Dice. I could do a special little number for you if that's more interesting to you than money.
Can you sing me a song?
I would happily sing you a song.
Nods. Opens the box again. Makes eyes at you, Genevieve.
I'm not gonna take your box.
Takes the rock and tosses it to you.
Truly stunning.
Now
Now or later?
later. Well, you're
Okay.
You're gonna sing at the 6 days.
I will be tonight, and at least for the next week.
All right. I will put in a request for you. I'll dress my finest.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Thank you so very much.
Alistair never goes out. Genevieve, you would know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I mean, neither do I, so.
Yeah, exactly. The only time you see him moving in the streets is like with bags of meat to
Yeah.
and fro. Maybe doing
Past my
deliveries
porch.
occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, meat.
Yeah.
Occasionally, he'll leave like a nice little slab for you.
Oh, lovely. Just on my porch.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, nothing like the gift of meat.
Some loose meat on my doorstep.
How
What's sort of-
wonderful.
It's mostly cured sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Anyways, I mean, as for strange things that I found in town, he sort of grabs, that clockwork thing that I mentioned. He grabs this to you. He says, "Oh, this was rejected. It's actually a part of a model of the clock tower."
Oh. It's absolutely lovely. Does it do any kind of particular clockwork thing?
Well, I mean, it keeps time.
I mean,
It's just a miniature version of the clock tower.
That's
that is
impressive.
really clever.
But it's the gears are actually quite intricate. I didn't realize that the architect that was in charge of the clock tower was making little samples. But here,
Well, yeah, I'll look at the gears.
it is very, very finely interwoven clockwork. It is very nice. Genevieve, it would be a quality that you would expect to be sold in like Swiss watchmakers,
Yeah. And not in
not in
clock.
Palomino.
Yeah, not in a clock tower in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That is immaculately beautiful.
Yeah. The architect that was building the clock tower was willing to part with it for a couple good cuts of venison.
Mm. Well, I think that was definitely worth it. This is a treasure anyone would be delighted to have. I'm not trying to take it from you.
Oh no, I mean, I'm sorry I was short with you, Miss Roy.
It is all right. I'm sorry that I was so shocked by seeing something that honestly thought we still had somewhere in a closet, but you know.
You hear a little voice. Sorry, I didn't think you needed it.
I don't respond to him. Um,
It was just a box of rocks.
is that Emmett still? Yeah. I just kind of wave the air kind of like where he is.
Um, and he says, "Oh, um, is that gonna be everything? I mean, or what else are you looking for, really? Like, I got some books. I got. You
Do
were
you have
saying you
anything on
wanted
the
something
history
as.
of the town?
Oh yeah, I definitely got something like that. I got my own personal diary. I've
Oh.
been here since inception.
Oh yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
One of
now
the
you've got my
Givers.
curiosity.
He sort of runs over to a chest. He opens it up and he grabs like a book and he brings it over and he says, "Yeah, here you go."
When he opens that chest, which his journal's in, I would like to take a peek and see if she notices anything before he shuts it that might be interesting.
There's a couple other books in there, but nothing else really. There's a blanket.
Okay. Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah,
May I?
it's all handwritten accounts of the town, the founders, and how everything is shaped up so far. I mean, it was kind of a passion project for a couple of years, but I've since lost that spark.
Oh, I'm sorry
Would
to
you
hear
mind if I
about that.
took this and borrowed this to read this evening? I don't think I could read this all standing here, but since I've come to this town, it's just so
Well, I mean,
interesting. I want to.
uh, I'll see you
Yeah,
tonight at the
absolutely.
Six Dice, so you can give it back to me then, or you say you're here for the next couple weeks.
At
I
least.
can always stop by the Six Dice again, and pick it up from you, along
Oh,
with my song.
you're so very kind.
He he reaches over to you, Genevieve, to
Yeah.
take the clockwork thing back from
Oh
you.
yeah. Apologies.
I was thinking one thing. Someone mentioned that when the sheriff and the gang got into their fight, the one bullet that it lodged in the wall of the bank. Now that would have been the most amazing treasure. Were you able to recover that?
I don't know anything about that bullet.
Do I believe him?
Do you believe him?
May I roll?
Absolutely, you may roll.
My bullshit.
Uh,
The bullshit
your
detector
bullshit
stat.
detector is let's see,
A B.
appeal. The questioner examines someone's emotional state.
I think that'll work. All right.
I'll roll one of that too, I suppose.
Absolutely, you can. Yeah, the one of the sample questions is the person honest, mistaken, or lying.
All right, I got a straight 10.
I got a
Nice.
9.
Oh,
Oh no,
n-
I got 9. I have to add my number to it. So it's 10 plus 3 is 13.
Oh.
very nice. That's a strong result. Poor results from Genevieve. Seems on the up and up, Genevieve.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm still thinking about
Ivy.
that box.
Yeah, you're a little distracted. You keep looking at the box. Keep your eyes
You-
off
you
my
get a-
box.
Yeah. Ivy's like, do we need to buy you the box? Okay, 3 questions. How about is this person honest? Are they lying to me about that?
Oh, he's
Bullet.
bullshitting you.
Okay.
He knows
What is
where the
gonna be-
bullet is.
What is going to be the best way to motivate him to show me the bullet?
Ooh. He's not really interested in money. He seems like he's interested in barter or in curios.
Okay. And then What tier are they?
Oh, strong.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Tier 2.
Okay. She looks at him and she just kind of smiles real knowingly, kind of conspiratorially. She knows how to play this game. She's like, oh, really? Someone who's a founder of this town and seems to know more about it than anybody else who lives here. Doesn't know anything about the most infamous trinket that I heard about all the way in Atlanta. And you're telling me nobody in this town was smart enough or quick enough to take advantage of that? Say it isn't so. I don't believe it for a minute. I've seen the sparkle in your eye. I know that you've got more going on in there than you want a single soul in this town to know a damn thing about. Because so do I. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Way in Atlanta?
All the way to Atlanta. This town's getting infamous. I had to come see it for myself.
Oh, way out here from Atlanta?
But if you don't know anything about it, I just need to take you at your word.
Turn around.
Do you need to see my outfit a little more? And she does a little spin.
Turn your back. Don't want you looking.
Okay. I won't. I would never.
You too. I've seen you
I
lie in my
am.
box.
I'm turning.
Stay
Both
turned.
turn your backs. You hear some rustling behind you. Like some clanging and banging. A click. And then
Emmett,
a rustling.
Emmett, what's he doing? Tell me what he's doing, Emmett.
I thought you weren't talking to me.
Now's not the time.
He's doing some really interesting things back here. I tried to say I'm sorry about the box, but I guess you didn't want to listen to me. Will you
Fine.
forgive me about the box if I tell you?
Sure. Yes.
Oh, he's just
Forgive-
making a bunch of noise, but he grabbed it from, like, a shelf. It's wrapped in some parchment.
All right.
Okay, you can turn around.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gonna show me
You ready,
yours?
Miss Genevieve?
Am I showing something as well? Because I did not remember making that deal.
Waves you
Alright.
off.
Hello, sir.
She pulls this pin from her hand. I got this in Versailles. It was used
Is that in France?
to poison a duchy. And then his wife. She's just totally making
Well,
sure.
This is the
And
bullet.
I still keep it. Take a look. I still keep it. Very poisoned up. See that little point? I have to be kind of careful. You want to take a closer
alright.
look? There's a little
Ah.
mechanism on the back that reloads it.
Grabs it, looks at it, presses it, does a little, there's a small little hiss as it fills it up.
Mhm.
Hands it back to you. Careful.
Oh, I will.
It has a small piece of canvas, and he opens it up, and it is a little bit chipped off, but it is a bullet. Like this is the bullet that killed the leader of the cast iron gang.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm the only one to see besides you? I
Well,
mean, Miss Genevieve, of course.
you and
Am I
Genevieve.
allowed to look?
Yeah, you can look, Genevieve.
Wow. Thanks. May I
Well, I
touch
guess,
it?
yeah, I let you. Yeah, I let you touch it.
Thank you so much.
It
And she takes it
glows.
very carefully, hand without. When I touch it, it glows.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something magic? Are you tricking me? What is this?
I've
Look
never
at
seen it
that.
do that before.
You sure you aren't trying to sweet talk me with this?
His eyes, he's shocked. He has no idea.
Look at this, Genevieve. May she hold it?
There's something mystical about that. Grabs a little looking glass and looks at it
I'll take it.
like a jeweler's lens.
Yeah. Does it continue to glow as I hold it?
Yep.
But it like looks the same as the other ones.
Yep, it's that same. There's like that sort of metal coating on it that's been flaked
Mhm.
off,
Yeah.
like that paint, almost.
That is so bizarre.
It's very strange because like anybody that's like seen bullets and like knows how that they work when they impacted and something.
Yeah.
A crystal should just shatter,
Yeah.
right? A bullet will
Yeah.
like change shape because usually it's hot enough. This is a crystal that has like almost metallic properties in that sense that it changed its shape. It looks like a bullet, but it's made from crystal.
How far was this embedded in the wood?
Probably a good 6 inches. Pretty good feat considering it went through someone's head first.
That is definitely true.
I'd fished it out because the cast iron gang dropped their pistols and walked out of town, and sheriff ran, and I went and got the bullet out of the wood before anybody could
That
spot
was
it.
very tricky of you and smart. So smart.
Very smart, very resourceful. You'd be so surprised when people leave around.
Oh,
Can I use a power?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm just gonna see if it gives me anything more. I'm gonna use my any result to recognize if if aftermath or havoc was caused by mundane or by supernatural means. But like looking at this bullet.
Uh-huh. You're using it for free.
Yeah, it's 0, so I'm not rolling.
The havoc that was caused by this bullet was definitely produced by supernatural means.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Figured, but making sure.
Yep.
That's all I can do.
It's all good. All right. Okay. He sort of kind of takes it back.
Oh, of course.
Why did it stop glowing? It wraps it. Turn around again so I can hide it.
Oh, of course.
thank you.
There's some more banging and clanging and rustles and like a whistling sound for some reason. Okay.
I was thinking maybe it just responds to feminine energy.
That could be feminine.
I bet you could. Actually, well, I'm not sure what you like, but I with a proper brushing and a little something, your hair
I could be very
Beautiful.
handsome when I want to. All right.
I think you could be anything you want.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. I think anybody can be anything they want. I kind of specialize in helping people be themselves.
Well, Miss Ivy, I might take you up on that.
I brought an amazing trunk full of all sorts of things. We could have so much fun.
Oh,
And I wouldn't tell a soul. You let me know. I'll be here a
he
while.
ponders it.
It's fun
Ah.
to find out who you are.
Miss Ivy, I appreciate that. All right. Well, I mean, if that's everything, I'm gonna open the shop back up again.
Um, I believe that is everything, unless this is pure happenstance. Do you know anything about a weird horse?
Oh, the nightmare?
Yeah, that one.
It wanders the hills at night. Nobody can
Mm-hmm.
catch it.
But nothing aside from that.
Um, no, not really. I
All
haven't
right.
seen it myself, but I've heard tale of it.
All right. I was just curious.
All right. He sort of ushers you both downstairs and sets
Mhm.
you out on the stoop,
I'll
and
grab my
makes
meat.
sure that he grabs the package of meat and hands
Yeah.
it to you.
Thank you.
Ivy will do a curtsy and be overly like dramatic about it. Just thank you so much, Mr. Alistair Owens, my new friend here in Palomino.
It's very nice to make your acquaintance, Miss Ivy. Miss
I'm sure we will
Bradford.
have a long friendship. I'm sure we will have a wonderfully long friendship.
He nods, and sets you both on your way. Closes the door, but unlocks it, and returns the sign again.
Well, that worked out all right.
It certainly did. And now we have a lot of reading to do.
Do you need that box of rocks? I'm sure he'd sell it to me for something.
I don't need the box of rocks. It's just I don't need the box of rocks.
Well, if you change your mind, I don't think it would be
I
a problem.
truly don't need more things that remind me of the mine.
That's a good point. Do you even want to be in this town anymore as we kind of walk away? Should we go to the church?
Which question did you want me to answer?
Well-
I need to drop this meat off at my house.
Oh, sure, I didn't even.
All
right.
I don't really super want to carry the meat into church.
Maybe they need it.
For what? The body of Christ?
Offerings be offerings.
I would like to drop the meat off if I may be allowed to do as such.
Of course. You want meat?
Yeah.
You stop at home, drop the meat off,
Yeah.
and come back out. I'm sorry about the rocks.
It's all right.
I thought you didn't need any more. Like, you were already on tough times with mine, and your parents were going, and I was supposed to go, and I just put it outside, thinking you didn't want that much to remind you of things that were already hard, and
No, you're right.
it was still wrong. I should have consulted you.
Thank you. But really, I don't need more garbage from that hellhole.
And I think you all sort of all converge out on the street around the same time.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Virgil? Jasper. We got some information for you. I'm not sure what you guys came up with, but found this. She pulls out the pretty blue-green rock that is not glowing. Seems like maybe the rock was there first.
You won't believe what
changed,
we
huh?
found out.
Do we want to go somewhere to have this conversation, or do we have somewhere else we would like to go first? We are relatively near my home.
Fair
If you don't
enough.
mind. It's not an imposition.
That was
Perfect.
Tiffany falling off my desk and knocking literally everything over.
Aw, to Tiffany.
Gotta
He's
happen at
okay.
least once a game.
Yep.
Dizzy.
Yeah, we go to my home, I suppose.
Sort of all congregate and confer information. If you have any conversations you'd like to have.
Oh, no heart, huh?
Yeah, so his heart was straight up like gone, and it was no, big bad wolf that mauled him. Somebody cut him up.
And he seemed to be okay with that.
Yeah, he didn't have that that screaming look of horror on his face. He looked like he had made his peace with it.
Well, that tracks with what we learned about the fact that they all just dropped their guns and walked away.
Something's clearly controlling them in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I can only surmise that it's because they either have a new leader or this man was trying to join and never did get a shot. Because all 7 of those knives are missing. Then we have a dead body. That means that there were 8.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Anita. But
Yes.
there was the trail of blood that led to the door, yes, from the body. But not footprints, trail of blood.
Yes. It wasn't like a drag kind of trail. It was like it was almost like it was pulled through channels and then it made the frame of the door.
Pulled through channels and made the door. Okay. But he didn't bleed through his vest.
If you like, you could make an observe roll, and I can let you know what you know, or what. I can give you some more information.
I would love to know more information. What is that?
Would you
a
like
study?
to know more?
Would love to know more.
Yeah. Make me a roll with study, please.
I mean, I got a whopping 6.
Becca,
So
switch your dice out. Jeez.
these are different ones, but I got a whopping 6. So I don't know if there's any kind of deal that'll dig me out of that hole.
Not really.
Yeah. So
You're straining your brains, and there's nothing. Like, I'll lay out the information that you know is that the blood led from the body to the door frame, or to like the base of the door. But there was no blood pooled around the body, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
It was placed.
Yeah, 100%.
That'd be what you would surmise, is that it was placed there with the daggers in
Why?
the back.
Why? Did they know we were coming?
Or did it have to be there to summon the door?
I didn't even connect that.
That's a good point.
I mean,
So
there's something weird about the mine. We obviously all know that there's something weird about either me, either my family. Who knows which one it is?
Give you a little column A, a little column B.
My dead husband just called me weird.
I mean, I love you anyways, but
Head down. Do I know if my parents were one of the some of the founding members of this town, or like any of my relatives?
you would know. Yes.
Okay.
Your parents came here fairly early on and struck
Yeah.
their claim.
Okay.
They had bought a parcel of land, and your father was a geologist and knew what he was doing when he did the original geological samples.
Was the sheriff one of the founding members of the town?
Yes. Sheriff, Alistair, and the McFadens.
Were they like the founding ones?
Yeah.
From like the journal too? Okay.
Exactly. It lines up with like the very first pages of the journal that say that the town was founded by these members.
Pull it out so anybody can take a look. We got this from Alistair. He apparently has been keeping a journal of the founding of the town, and maybe he was starting a project or something, but he stopped. But anyway, this should have some good information in it. He's letting me borrow it. We also located the bullet.
Oh,
He had it.
This whole time.
And it glowed
And-
when Ivy touched it, as well as
It
me.
did. The same as the others, from what I could tell. But it glows when I touch it.
I don't like that one bit.
hmm.
I mean, it could just be that we're both a little something extra.
Perhaps. Let me see that journal.
Of course.
And I'm gonna just read through it to see if I could catch anything significant.
It's a brief history of the town. It tells you who the founding members were, what businesses were started. The Butcher was one of the first ones. The Six Dice was the second. I think the town was actually sort of built around the saloon. It was originally like a stopping point for stagecoaches and the like, just like a waypoint in the road, and everything was sort of built around it. The Six Dice was built by what is that person's name?
Gloria. Interesting.
Not Gloria. It was built by Chance Hutchins.
That's a Western name, alright.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine your
What
name
happened
is
to
Chance
him?
Hutchins and you're just from, like, Maine.
So it was built by a gentleman by the name of Chance Hutchins, which you would recognize Genevieve as the name of the former sheriff.
That would be the former
Ah.
sheriff.
And how exactly did he die?
He got ill.
He fell ill, same as the McFadens. Weird. And you, I would say that, no, that one, you're good. Don't worry about it.
I'm so nervous about what you just went through in your head.
Yep. You're okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I will use a full study roll.
Okay, sure. Actually say this. The first child that was born in town is the former Mr. My brain is Roy. Was the first child born in
So
town.
it was Emmett, huh?
Emmett Roy.
Yeah.
The Roys came into town a little bit later, but he was the first child that was born in town.
Does any of
The
this
first son of Palomino
Hmm.
is what is written in the diary.
Gross. I mean, I'm the first daughter of Palomino.
That would be correct.
Is that written in there?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, it's actually laid out like it's laid out like a history of town that also includes family trees and
Interesting.
genealogies. Yep.
what
That's-
name is written in there
For you or for
for me?
you? Genevieve McFadden.
Interesting. Well, I squint at that, confused.
Actually, wait, give me 1 second.
Yeah, Genevieve is not my first name.
I know. It says Hazel Genevieve McFadden as the first daughter of Palomino.
Mm.
I imagine I see that and I look over at Genevieve, and then I just turn back to the book and continue to read through. If this seems to be a history, when does it stop?
History?
Yeah.
It stops about just after the shootout.
I would like to study the shootout, whatever information is recorded about that.
It's actually stuff just before it. There's no.
Oh,
There's a mention of
okay.
the cast iron gang taking over town,
Mhm.
and then there's nothing. It says that the McFaddens and the first son of Palomino passed away from an unknown illness in this year, in this date, and then it says the cast iron gang has taken up arms against the town as strong arming residents, and then that's when it stops.
Does it have any information about the cast iron? Like, does it have any verifiable numbers in there? Or just there was a scourge and
It says 7 members of the cast iron gang, and then it says it has some of their names, not all of them,
Mhm.
because I don't think Alistair actually knew all their names and hadn't necessarily gathered that much information.
Oh,
And the project kind of stopped as well.
Yeah.
Either
no,
he
that's-
lost steam or something happened.
All right. So is Cliff's name on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. So if Cliff was one of the originals,
Mm-hmm.
well, looks like we got a hostile takeover.
Or they're just pawns. Fuel, food. There's a lot of things they could be. Seen some crazy stuff.
Statement is still correct.
Mm-hmm.
You said you saw this bullet?
We did. It was pretty much just like those. There was a little bit more of a chip on the end. But there was no deformity. Nothing to indicate it went through a skull and then hit a wall.
And was 6 inches in the wall.
You almost sound like he never died at all.
That's absolutely what I believe at this point.
I didn't even
was
think
this
about
body
that.
buried?
I mean, I would assume anywhere that the bodies are buried here.
Boot Hill.
In Boot Hill. You could,
Is that by the church?
Yep.
Well,
Go check it out this evening. I'm not sure they'd like us digging up old friends.
we can ask whoever is claiming to speak the word of God in there.
What kind of preacher do you have in this town, Jasper?
It's a new guy came round from farther north, I believe. Last guy, what? He just retired, Genevieve?
it was something along those lines, I think.
Like I
I
said,
know a lot of
I'm not the type to go around church anymore. At least not all the time.
Is it an older priest, a younger, like?
New one's like I believe he's like a young, handsome hotshot or something.
Hunk is the word I heard used.
I've only seen him a few times. He came by here asking, just introducing himself, and I was like, all right, toddle off. But
Did he come before or after the shootout?
it's recent, right?
Well, I think I lived here when he came, so it would be.
Okay. Recent. Good. I can't imagine any priest or any holy person would want a desecration of a grave, though. So yeah, sometimes it's, at least in my experience, it's a little easier to ask for forgiveness than be told no and then have to really sneak.
Ultimately, I don't think that this priest would be able to say no if we decided. All I want to know is whether or not they know if the body is there.
He wouldn't have been in town when it was buried, so he would probably truthfully have no way of knowing.
Can your spirit friends tell, Miss Genevieve?
From from my understanding, at least what Emmett said was that he hadn't really seen Sly around that often, if at all. Is that right?
I mean, I haven't really seen him around.
Is there like a door
Yeah.
you could go knock on to go visit him, or is that not
Why?
how? To see if he's actually dead and in there? I don't know.
I mean,
What's he gonna do? Kill you?
I don't really go out seeking other folk like me, really.
Hmm.
But if everybody, Ivy just says she can't hear what you're saying, but Ivy says if everybody is disturbed right now, if all of the spirits are willy-nilly disturbed, it would seem like he would be out there, right? Like he wouldn't be hiding because they're all, I forget the term you guys used. But
Topsy-turvy.
they're all topsy-turvy.
I mean, they're all
So
topsy-turvy, but also my dad's not hanging over my shoulder, bothering the hell out of me. No offense.
okay. But he's out there.
Mm. He doesn't like to visit as much. But I mean, fathers.
It's Jasper fingers his rapier.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fidgeting. I'm sorry. My notes were
I
wrong.
as I fidget, I love it. I'm like, get it.
Who has the crystal right now?
Oh. Yeah.
Would you
I
mind?
compared the crystal and the other rock.
I will
As
set
we
both
like pull
on
it
the
out.
table.
Would you mind
Yeah.
if after we finish with Miss Ivy's performance tonight, if I held on to that until the morning?
Of course. Can I ask why? Or are you gonna keep being mysterious?
Not mysterious.
Okay. That's alright.
So, I mean, we could all do with a little bit more mystery, can't we?
Apparently,
not-
I've got just enough.
Right. Well, while we all settle in with our information, I think on that note, we're going to end tonight's session. We're going to get prepared for a big show from Miss Ivy Bradford.
Which Brandy
And
is
a
not
visit.
doing.
Oh, absolutely not. You're fine.
Live performance.
We're
You
going
had
to
3
settle in-
episodes to be ready for this beat.
Chess hands. We're
I
going to
wasn't
settle
sugar,
in
so
for a
good luck.
performance by Miss Ivy Bradford tomorrow and perhaps a visit with the town priest. And I already have a title for next episode.
Uh-oh.
Oh, great.
Do we get a no?
Because I can tell you right now. Because y'all came into town on a Saturday. The title of the next episode is
Oh.
going to be Saturday Night Shows and Sunday Sermons.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And the
Good
Let's all
episode
go to church,
titles.
kids.
That's fantastic. That's
We're
a
all gonna
whole-
burn as soon as we walk into that church, but that's okay.
What?
Us. So that's been
Hi.
our episode for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to go around. We're going to have everybody tell us who they are, where they can be found, and get some last thoughts from their character before we settle on out. And we'll start. We'll start in reverse order. We'll start with Max.
So we are role playing out the rest of today's Friday
It's so Saturday is the day that y'all showed up in town, and Sunday is tomorrow.
Okay, so we're going to do the rest of Saturday next.
We'll do the rest of
session.
Saturday evening and then Sunday
Okay,
to talk to the priest.
that is for clarification of my own character vignette.
All good.
So, I think there is a moment where Jasper has to, kind of like in the middle of these events, Jasper has to talk to Clive. And it's very strange because Jasper doesn't have a lot of people that they are like overly close to in town. But Clive is really the closest thing he's always had to a friend. And it's very strange to not tell him the whole truth about something like this, because he never had a reason to lie to him. and the feeling is unsettling and very new. And so he comes back with this tobacco and whatever else he's bought with the extra money. That's fine. And yeah, Jasper is definitely feeling a little bit morally troubled as he kind of like tries to tiptoe around telling him what is going on. And he tries to make the ultimate message like some shit might go down. You should just take it easy for a few days. Hang at the stable, hang inside, and just believe me that you will thank me afterwards, and I'll explain later.
You'll tell me when shit starts popping off, right?
You'll know when shit starts popping off, man. Hopefully shit won't pop off, but like, it's probably
All
going
right.
to.
Oh, listen, in the next couple days I got some deliveries to run outside of town.
All right, just stay on the path. Don't
Always.
wander. All right,
Never do.
you got it, boss.
All right. You take care of yourself.
And I am Max, and you can find me anywhere that I want you to find me on the internet at Arcane Goth. Right now, you can find me doing a lot of stuff. On Mondays, I am on Take Your Role. I run a dual cast and dual system actual play. We are in all trans and POC majority cast, doing vampires versus vampire hunters. And then you can find me with Apochromatic Unlimited. We have some pre-recorded fun stuff coming out featuring me soon. And then you can find me here on Fridays, and then in real life you can find me at Anime Boston, beginning of April.
Awesome. Next up, we've got Dee.
Well, Miss Ivy's, she excuses herself and she needs to get back to the Six Dice to get ready. She checks in with Virgil and sees if he wants to go back or stay put. Is he staying or going?
Going.
Okay, so then we'll both head back and probably split up and head off to our rooms. She'll stop by the bar, be very kind to Cynthia, pleasant for a drink, checks to see if there's a pianist tonight. If not, she'll take care of it. And then she heads up to her room to get all gussied up.
Get ready to perform.
And she's going to also do some meditating and kind of just mentally prepare herself for the fact that, she's done shows in her sleep. She's done so many of them, she doesn't even remember. So that's not even a thought. She's not worried about that. But she's thinking about like all the pieces that we're putting together and the fact that we're probably going to go to a grave tonight. So she's also then going to make a quick bag of stuff that's ready to go when we need to go.
Like a go bag?
Yeah, basically the gear to prepare to get and go do things we're not supposed to in the dark.
All right.
And I'm Brandy. You can find me as Kind Ranger on the Twitterverse. I'm not doing a whole hell of a lot other than that. Well, in my real life days, I've got all these games going, but I'm not on the internet. Yeah, and I love this game.
Awesome. Next up, we've got Becca.
I think like as everyone kind of exits the McFadden estate, Genevieve would have asked to have been left with like the journals to go through if that's good with everyone.
Totally.
And is just kind of staring at it and just staring at the fact that, my parents who founded this town and the sheriff of this town all died, and then my husband, the first son born in this town, died, and me, the first daughter born in this town, and just kind of staring at that in this empty house of just only ghosts, basically by herself, that she doesn't want to be in. I think she's just gonna try to go through her dresser to see if she has anything that isn't black.
Awesome. We love
And-
character development.
Yeah. And And yeah, I've been Becca. That was Mayday, jumping up there. You can find me anywhere that I'm worth finding as Cool Armadillo, either with a zero as the final O or not, depends on a case-by-case basis. As for other things I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm doing two other things. You can find me on Mondays over at twitch.tv/, Talking XP for a Curse of Strahd game, and you can find me on Saturdays over at Gamera Kong for Shadows of Sharn, where I just be a silly little detective guy. And this one is Tisiphone, who knocked everything I own over. Like a little baby.
Aw, good kitty.
Aw,
Yeah, she's so cute. My desk is in ruins.
awesome. And last but not least, Chris.
So I think as Virgil goes back to his room, he closes the door, and I think at this moment I'm going to use another summoning cache. And
Nice.
at this point, because I feel like I can kind of choose what creatures I'm going to have. There's probably another little iguana, but this one is far more shadowy, like just black and more like a trail of oil.
You
rather
you
than-
finish the wave your hand over the circle, and the shadow that is cast from your arm begins to take shape within and becomes this oil slick black lizard that almost absorbs the light.
And I look at it and I tell it, when night comes, go to the church and look at the graves.
God, and it ducks out the window, sticks
Okay.
to the shadows. And who are you?
And I am Chris, or Omnis on the internet. You can find me all over the internet as Omnis, X-O-M-N-I-S, X with an underscore on Twitter between the S and the X because logistics, I guess. And you can find me on my Twitch channel or on YouTube occasionally whenever I remember to upgrade my videos or update my videos because I am just a rambly boy. I probably will be on tomorrow playing Warsim because last time it gave me really sick names and I kind of want to do that again, and it's very fun. So yeah, just reach out if you want to chat. I'm here.
Heck yeah. And I think we'll pick it up as that little lizard skirts around the shadows in town and slides up. The sun begins to set and it gets dark and it moves its way towards. You wanted it to explore the graveyard?
Yes.
It moves up through shadows between tombstones. As it gets to a final grave, you see a shadow reach up from the ground, grab it, and pull it under. And that's me. Hi, everybody. I've been Anita, your GM for this evening. You can find me everywhere at Panita or at Critical Misses. I'm a TTRPG streamer, graphic designer, and cat mom about the space. I can say that now because I have a cat. Yeah, you can find me on Sundays on Pluto Cleric's channel for The Weird Frontier, which is a Starfinder campaign. You can find me Thursdays on Cybernation Uncensored for a Star Trek Adventures game called Flight Beyond the Veil. Fridays you can find me here for this game, and then Saturdays every morning you can find me here for Morning Ritual, which is a TTRPG talk show, and our guest tomorrow is Linda Kodega. I'm very excited to talk with Linda tomorrow. But that's been our show, everybody. Thank you all so much for stopping by and joining us. I'm going to set us to raid.
D is on.
Is D on?
D is on.
Pretty.
Let's go say hi to It's the Riddler. We're going to start a raid heading over to It's the Riddler. Thank you all so much for stopping by and joining us. Until next time, maybe stay out of the shadows. Bye, everybody.
Or not.